Is Gypsy a psychopath? Gypsy posted, "We all know the case was a effed up situation. I will never deny that. But haven't you heard that is so 10 plus years ago? People grow, people change, and learn from their bad choices. I did my time." You didn't do your time, Gypsy. You were convicted of first-degree murder at the beginning of your sentencing. You received the same time as Nicholas Gojon, life in prison or even possibly the death sentence.
Regarding bail.
Your Honor, the state is once again requesting cash bail in the amount of $1 million. That's the bail in Missouri. I would note that this individual is alleged to have conspired with Nicholas Godejohn and asked him to stab her mother to death so that they could be together, and then stole money from her deceased mother's safe and fled the state of Missouri, coming to the state of Wisconsin. She has no known ties to the state of Wisconsin other than her relationship with Mr. Godejohn. At this point in time, she's looking, just as Mr. Godejohn is, at 2 felony charges, most significantly one being first-degree murder, where the penalty is life imprisonment or death. So given those factors, the state does believe she is a substantial flight risk and would ask that the court impose the same bail that Mr. Godejohn got of $1 million with conditions not to contact Mr. Godejohn and not to leave the state of Wisconsin.
You only received the plea deal because Mike Stanfield believed your fake mitigating circumstances of severe abuse and thought you deserved to be free and perhaps your mother deserved to be unalived. On the other hand, Nicholas Gojohn's attorney wouldn't accept his real mitigating circumstances of having autism and not truly understanding what he was doing. Nicholas thought he was saving you from horrible circumstances. Instead, he was told he only took your mother's life. He didn't save you from anything. How's this fair? If anything, Mike Stanfield should defend Nicholas Gojon and say he was the hero that saved Gypsy from a lifetime of abuse. But instead, he does nothing. Mike Stanfield also has never made one medical malpractice suit against the doctors who did all those unnecessary procedures on Gypsy. I wonder why that is. But let's get back to the question. Is Gypsy a psychopath? What are the traits of a psychopath? Psychopath traits. Emotional detachment and lack of empathy. Psychopaths typically show a profound inability to experience empathy or guilt. Their emotional responses are shallow, and they can mimic emotions without truly feeling them. Gypsy saying her crime was so 10 plus years ago shows she has no feelings for what she did. No guilt, and she has no empathy for what Nicholas is going through at all. Everyone says when they see videos of Gypsy with her baby that she seems detached from her baby, like it's not really her child. There isn't any maternal instinct, and she doesn't even know how to hold her own baby. She mimics trying to cry and looks like a very bad actor. These are all traits of a psychopath. Charm and manipulativeness. They often display superficial charm and are highly skilled at manipulation. This can make them very effective in social or professional setting, allowing them to blend into society. Calculated and strategic behavior. Their actions are generally well-planned and deliberate. They tend to be more methodical and controlled, rarely acting on impulse. Gypsy charmed and manipulated Nicholas Gojon for 2.5 years until he jabbed DD 4 times and was accused of being the only one who took her life even though there were 17 jab wounds. Gypsy was calculated and strategic in the way the crime was committed, so all the guilt would fall on Nicholas and only a small part would fall on her. These are more traits of psychopathic behaviors. Neurological differences. Some research indicates that psychopaths may have distinct brain patterns, particularly in regions related to emotion and impulse control, which could underlie their behavior. Lack of remorse. Even when their actions cause harm, psychopaths typically do not experience regret or remorse. Gypsy's behavior is where she shows no remorse or regret over having her mother murdered. She has no regrets over being the reason that Nicholas Gojon will spend the rest of his life in prison. Gypsy has no regrets over using Ryan Anderson for an address and marrying him for only a couple of years and staying married when she was released from prison for only a couple of months. She has no regrets about breaking his heart and tearing his life apart. She went on to go back to her old boyfriend and have a child with him and just wants Ryan to get over it. More signs of Gypsy being a psychopath. Neither psychopath nor sociopath is an official diagnosis in clinical psychology. Instead, the term antisocial personality disorder is used, which can encompass features of both. ASPD in context. Antisocial personality disorder, or ASPD, is part of a broader category of personality disorders, often grouped with other cluster B disorders, which include borderline, narcissistic, and histrionic personality disorders that are marked by dramatic or erratic behaviors. While terms like psychopath or sociopath are sometimes used in popular discussions, ASPD is the clinical term that encompasses a range of antisocial behaviors and attitudes. In summary, antisocial personality disorder is a complex condition involving persistent antisocial behavior, a lack of empathy, and a disregard for societal norms. Its origins are multifaceted, and while treatment is possible, it can be quite challenging due to the nature of the disorder. The cluster B personality disorders include antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder. As the name gives us a strong reference, people with antisocial personality disorder isolate themselves. Antisocial personality disorder describes a condition where people blatantly disregard the rights of others through impulsive, manipulative, or downright criminal behavior. Most serious cases of antisocial personality disorder usually include psychopaths. They are aggressive, lack remorse, and use deceit to get things done their way. This is obvious for Gypsy Rose considering her crime and theft from her past. 2. Narcissist personality disorder. If you search for narcissist personality disorder meaning, this is probably what you would get at the top of the search result. People with NPD tend to have no connection with others' feelings and are mostly self-centered. This can be paired with arrogance not based on reality, as they feel they are someone special who needs to be treated the right way every time by everyone. This also fuels them to do and achieve anything they want, even if it's not the right thing to do by law. Gypsy is very self-centered and feels she should be treated in some special way all the time. She was very angry that she had to stand in line for the Post Malone concert, for example, instead of being told, "Oh, but you're famous. Come on to the front," and being treated special. 3. Histrionic personality disorder. These are highly attention seekers and consider themselves the life of the party. Most of them happen to be charming and outgoing, and hence are in constant need to be accepted, validated, and appreciated at all times. HPD is commonly characterized by the seductive and overly emotional behavior of the person. They tend to become upset and dramatic when they don't get the attention they need. Seductive and attention-seeking. Oh yeah, that would be Gypsy. 4. Borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder, BPD, is considered similar to paranoid personality disorder, but is often symptomized with mood swings and other erratic behavior. People with BPD happen to engage in risky activities and be passionately aggressive toward others. Don't you think the way Gypsy wears revealing clothing on social media is a risky behavior? Also, the way she was angry with Ken over a hairbrush was being passionately aggressive. Considering everything that tells us the traits of a psychopath, would you come to the same conclusion I have and say that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is definitely a psychopath? Tell me what you think in the comments. By the way, because of a certain content creator, I have been demonetized for a few months, and I have to do a second appeal to get remonetized at the end of April. In the meantime, if you would like to support this channel, you can become a member, or go to my Linktree and buy me a coffee. Thank you for all your support.